Yeah, you don't come to this coven and not realize he about to eat him.
Take your pet.
Oh,
Let's go to the grubs.
he about to eat him.
What's going on, it's your boy Syntell with the Intel, and I'm here with the beautiful Mikel-Claire.
I want to suck your blood, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah,
my
blah, blah,
goodness.
blah. You're supposed to say we don't say blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, listen, season 2, episode 3, interview with the vampire. This episode is called No Pain. Make sure you stay to the very end because me and Mikel-Claire are going to chop it up, have a bit of a back and forth over the things we've enjoyed and the things that, you know, we may be scratching our heads over. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Alrighty. Thanks, AMC. I have been waiting for this for quite some time.
Really?
Yeah, I love this show. This has just been one of my pleasures.
I do like it, but I need them to pick up the pace a little bit this episode.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very like...
Which is your job?
What happened next?
Here we go. You about to find out. Here we go.
Part 2.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep. No pain.
No pain. No pain, no gain?
Yep.
Well, he definitely gonna get some gains then, because he in some pain.
The fish markets, a series of risks.
Right.
Under the burning sky.
He is just not pleasant.
You're Daniel Malloy. I've read your books.
Oh.
A reader. Well, prepare yourself for disappointment. Okay?
Off your game a touch yesterday. Perhaps they believe you've been humbled. Clever on their own. Now there's 2 of them. Of course, it was always 2 of them.
How does he know this?
Right.
You have me bugged, or you want me to think you do?
We were tracking 900 of them a month ago. We're tracking 1,600 now.
Wow. 1,600.
Well, then you have a more immediate problem than a book being researched.
You're not the first to attempt this, Mr. Malloy.
Oh.
Your comically vulnerable laptop. Friends in the
Here, a fan of intelligence officers. We got a live one.
Tochi-sama, Teisho-san.
Oh, he spoke the native language. M16?
MI6. It's like a British Secret Service.
Oh,
Not Secret
okay.
Service. It's like their version of like,
FBI.
yeah.
They drain and disappear us.
They have a biological imperative that is in conflict with human morality.
Wow.
But what is that
nice
morality
way to
other
put
than
it.
rules agreed upon?
Thank you, Reid.
Rashid is like, I can't. I feel the same way,
Disrespecting my
though.
people.
I feel the same way. I can't deal with this dude.
But he crossed the line.
Artificial intelligence crunching improbable data.
I offer
How do
my
you hide
apology
from the
on his
cloud?
behalf.
Why are you talking
We
to
should
me like
probably
this?
wait for him.
Yeah.
I know Daniel's like, I don't trust you, dog. Period.
They don't trust each other.
You're at the height of willful ignorance. We exploit it. This was Lestat's prophetic vision.
Okay. Lestat's prophetic vision, really?
No, the other Lestat.
Behind stone, prior to his transformation.
Oh, wow.
I'm listening.
That's fascinating.
That's
he
my
kinda-
job, right?
He kind of led the way to...
Yeah.
It was 1556
Oh,
when the
we're gonna get
Roman
his
coven
tale, huh?
sent me to lead the shambolic Paris.
Oh.
We called ourselves the Children of Darkness,
Okay, so the Pirates Coven.
hunted in shame, all in strict obedience to medieval laws put in place to protect us from humanity.
Okay.
Okay.
Discussing.
I really got to meet this guy.
I felt his presence before I saw him.
It's interesting.
Dang.
It's interesting that they used to live in squalor.
My deserters, Magnus. This was something new.
Obviously, hiding out probably. Obviously.
No vampire shall ever reveal his
Actor.
true nature to a mortal and let that mortal live.
Oh, that's
And here he
interesting.
was.
Lestat was living his best life.
Oh, yeah.
500 mortals a night, like some patronized, tarted up dervish.
Vous êtes donc de femme.
Get him, Lestat.
Empire was a horror show.
Oh.
That may be. But he made a remarkable recovery shortly then.
That part.
Our words came out like canaries. Summer fruit in the dead of winter. They were all in love with him.
I wonder what the feeling is when you see another vampire. Like how you can sense them.
Yeah.
Using the dark gift for what? His vanity? His heresy. I had to bring him under my control by any means. Je sais que tu peux m'entendre, mon enfant.
So he's older, huh?
Who calls me child, right?
Je peux prendre soin de toi.
Oh!
Je peux t'apprendre ce qu'il ne t'a pas appris.
Oh, he's like, yo, your maker's gone. Let me come and take over.
Oh, look, he saw him now. He see him. They made eye contact.
Oh, yeah.
Come to me.
Oh!
Encore plus en elle.
Lestat has a certain, we've said this before,
he
his
got that
charm.
swag, yeah.
His charm is something to be reckoned with.
They watched in secret, fascinated by his disregard for the laws I told them could never be broken.
Oh, so they're about to
He took a
mutiny.
mortal lover. More heresy. À la maison.
Oui, maître.
They're looking at him like, dang, you just gonna let that ride?
Yeah, like he ain't even a part of the coven.
Je me rappelle. Je ne peux pas lire mes notes quand j'entends tes pieds sur le plancher.
Look how he walk. He got some swag.
He
to him.
does. That dude carried it. He's like, dude, I am powerful and I know it.
Yeah, he's dope.
Qu'est-ce? Là, quelqu'un me regarde.
Mm-hmm.
Tu es toujours au centre de l'attention.
That part.
La solitude que tu ressens, il ne l'atteindra jamais. Sois avec les tiens.
Et abandonner mon gilet à carreaux.
Like,
Right?
yo, you don't see me?
He's
Like,
like, you
I'm
don't see
shining right
me?
now.
Live as a grub. Dang.
De laisser pouvoir.
He's like, I'm
Remember,
older than
Lestat
you.
knows that power too. Because the first season he did it.
Mais tu l'auras.
Yeah,
But
you
I think
will.
he taught him that, yeah.
Oh,
Et
what?
voici un buveur de sang.
You see his teeth, though,
Mm-hmm.
right? Don't you, he's like, yo, didn't you
Oh,
just...
mine is like, yo,
Oh,
I
his
am not
eyes.
to be toyed
Did you
with.
see his eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's
I am
right.
your coven leader. I am your boss.
Yeah, you don't come to this coven and not realize he about to eat him.
Take your pick.
veux-tu?
Let's go
Oh,
to the grubs.
he about to eat him.
Are those stronger?
Dang.
Mais l'acteur figé sous leur jeu respire encore. Dans ce temple, voir protège.
Belief
Oh.
is protection.
That's why they started the... Remember, they co-started the theater.
Il croit vraiment que c'est une pièce de théâtre. Des clous sur une porte à Wittenberg. Tu as mené une réforme, Lestat.
Nous l'avons fait ensemble.
Tu fais un meilleur moi.
Mm-hmm.
Ici, maintenant.
C'est une loge spéciale.
Oh, my goodness.
He's like, stop being shy.
You're
He's
just
like-
going to end it there.
He's like, we gotta wait for Louis.
Went at it on the floor.
Yeah, there we go.
Because he sensed Louis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a week later, Lestat was gone. The question was, when he went to open the theater the next night, he was met by the lawyer, Pierre Roger I.
Waiting for me with a trunk full of cash and instructions to cover the theatre's cost in perpetuity.
Wow.
And will always be for Lestat.
Hey,
Never
stop
say
it.
I love you
yo,
to a
I'm
raging
built- I'm built
narcissist.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Another 150 years.
wow, till you met Louis.
And then he arrived.
Oh.
The Stot's leftovers.
This is what frightened me most about you.
He is such a tortured soul. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
can you imagine being damned? Yeah.
For centuries and centuries.
My daddy took me and Paul there to fish. There's a drawbridge there. He burned on the bridge.
Shreveport, Cottle Lake, burned himself on the bridge.
That's that look. That's what you expect somebody.
Armand,
Oh, you come to, and he just walked
The door
in.
was ajar.
Oh,
if you open up the windows and the doors, you get a little breeze.
I thought you had to be invited in. No.
No, that's just the old lore. Yeah, all that lore. None of that really holds true. Garlic, invited in.
Have I been late once, Major?
Have you been early once is the question I'd be asking myself.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he is the leader of the coven.
Yeah. Have I given you permission to look me in my eyes?
Yeah.
She's taking the abuse in stride.
I've never seen
Hazy.
her happy.
That part.
The coven has grand designs for her.
Interesting.
What does that mean?
You're drawn to portraiture.
Hides the cracks in the walls.
He's like, this whole thing.
The Coven is envious of your independence. It's a problem.
They were of Lestat's
You outside
too,
looking in?
remember?
Your problem.
No, it could be your problem though.
You want me, I'm here. But
Oh.
I'm here, in the streets, cafes, the salons, the bars.
It's just like Lestat.
That's why he likes him.
Where were you? Or be careful. I had enough of that back home. I'm out here finding myself.
Preach, brother.
Then what room is there left for me?
You can come too.
No, there's room.
Louis loves sniffing.
Some of my most profound feelings and thoughts were taking shape when my mind was touched by Armand.
Oh, he's sharing all that information.
Something you were saying made me think of.
Think what?
They can tell you're lying, homie. Like, they can tell.
That's it. It just flew out of my head there. It's gone.
Look at him. He's like, no, it's not. It's right there.
Doing what's she doing at this stage of things?
He does not have a poker face.
How do you get them to accept death?
They'll never hear you in the front row with your head down.
Oh, so he's gonna let her look at him.
When I creak open the lid, is have a chat with my scene partner for the night. Muck about in their heads.
When I crack open the lid, because they're in that thing.
What gifts did he bequeath the Muppet vampiress?
The Muppet.
Right?
You taught me how to lie well.
He was like, word.
Yeah, he's like, that's what we doing.
Not as well as you think.
It's Louis who's from Chicago, yes?
Just outside it. Gary, Indiana.
See, he's an American. He was once an American, so.
Once he finds out that.
And Gary's not just outside of Chicago. Just.
I'm evil.
This is my friend Louis.
Bonjour. Now, will you two kindly shut up so I can hear the news?
He does kind of look like the guy that was talking to Daniel, though.
The guy, the MI6 guy?
Yeah.
The goodness of the saints, the goodness of the midwives. And how is this evil achieved?
Uh-oh. Lestat.
You only want him because you're feeling blue. Come to me. He'll never run his fingers through your hair the way I.
That's another type of not getting over somebody.
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
There he is again.
Yep.
Come to me.
I love it.
Bruce, for 30 years.
Bruce. How long are we going to play games, Louis?
He said, come on, bro, I know.
Finally.
I'm tired of holding on to it. Lestat was my companion in America.
Oh.
Still a bookbinder's wife. He knows.
You know where he is?
I want you to say it.
Oh.
I killed him, and he fucking had it coming.
Well, that's debatable.
I'm just waiting for you to say it.
And that means what? You gotta kill me now?
Probably.
He should be scared. Yeah.
Yes. No.
You broke one of the great laws.
I don't know any great laws. Lestat never told me shit.
I told you I loved you. Said nothing.
Dang. Woo. That would be so difficult.
Yeah.
Do this. We should be real careful, like you said.
Dang.
Louis.
This man is going through it.
Yes, he is.
Held up to a rag hanging out his gas tank.
Thought we'd be on that road for a long time. His last words were, had enough of your gloomy faces.
She can sense something, obviously.
Could have said, put your coffin on a boat. Go to Paris. There's a beautiful carving there, I know, because I fucking founded it. They're gonna let me join the carving end of this week. It'd be nice if you come.
I wonder if
miss
you
it
knew
for the world.
Probably not.
about the abuse. I mean,
Yeah, probably not.
Excuse the interruption. The lawyer for the buyer is ready for the teleconference.
The lawyer?
It's about the bacon triptych.
The bacon trip tape.
I'll take a piss. A real cold cup of water there, Rashid. I was really in it.
She like, I don't like you.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what he was sent. TDV Theater Archives.
3 studies for figures at the base of a crucifixion, witnesses to Christ's agony.
Oh, they're trying to
Mr.
sell
Bacon
those.
also referred to these as the 3 Furies.
The art.
Yeah. PC
The buyer
now.
wants it for her husband. She probably Googled what questions she should ask.
The reverse on the right panel is inscribed Petersfield, which is near a cottage Bacon worked at.
Media coverage, Great Fire. Le Monde.
Oh, so the theater burned.
Ward Carter.
Who are you?
I am who you think I am.
Santiago.
Messi.
The vampires are real. They're gonna kill us all.
Goodness.
They're real. Going to kill us all. What is this? He's disrupted the performance.
No. Let him speak.
Look at
She's so
Claudia.
proud.
With his presence. What an honor.
He's here in support of the girl. Finish the performance.
Better finish that performance before I stand up.
Yeah.
I have not.
A mutilated body found in a park 3 nights ago. Crossed skull. Puncture wounds on...
Louis.
Of course not.
Because everyone was in coffin by curfew.
Rules. They have curfew.
I don't see our girl here at that particular park. Do you? You've had your time to recruit. It's not happening. He will be the ruin of us. Do what must be done.
Are you making demands?
Yeah, that part.
Would like to know what you intend to do with him. Beyond comping him a 5th row centre ticket.
And do you speak for the coven?
Oh. That's a lot of them.
We on speaker. We didn't know we was on speakerphone.
Can he hear them though?
Probably not.
Does that satisfy?
Did in my makeup for fathers.
Does that satisfy?
It does, maître. All respect.
It does what?
He said it does.
But then he said something.
No pain.
Ugh. The sound is always so like, ugh.
What is it, Matron?
It's a flea circus.
Oh. I get it.
Would you have us?
Yes, Matron.
Oh, nice. Look at those
The
arms.
ceremony is for members only. Shall we have a walk?
It's like going to graduation, huh? Yeah.
No, it's like
The 5
secret,
laws.
not secret, but organizations.
Law
like
1.
you can't have other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying from Louis' perspective, it must sound like because he's kind of like the parent figure, and you're watching your child graduate.
The dark gifts must never be given to the crippled, the maimed, or to children.
I'm gonna leave Paris.
Where would you go?
Remember when Lestat
is a
was
child.
like, yeah.
History of the vampires.
You exposed us. Should I
Yep.
allow the London Coven such exposure?
Yep.
Ever reveal his or her true nature to a mortal and let the mortal live.
They do business with vampires.
No vampire may ever destroy another vampire.
Oh.
That the Coven Master has the power of life and death over all his flock.
Oh, he has the power over all his flock.
Those were your first words to me.
My maker was a vampire named Bruce, who's Lestat de Lioncourt. Your first words to the coven.
And it is his obligation.
Where are we going?
We're going to get lost and end up back by the river.
Remember the article that Daniel's looking at?
Any other requests?
Look after Claudia.
She doesn't need looking after. She won't be here very long.
Oh.
What?
You heard him.
You made her at 14.
Oh, yeah, she was a child.
It will break apart in time.
You don't know her?
I don't have to.
Okay, so your mind, if you're a child, your mind will break apart?
I've seen too much, Louis.
And they gave her a baby doll dress.
My baby loves windows.
I play your governess. And I play your mother.
And I play the little girl.
You're the lead. Dang, she gets to be the lead.
No, but she's gonna always be a little girl. That's what she's struggling with, I think.
Yeah, for the next 50 years.
Why isn't Louis? Those with the most power are often the weakest.
Don't give up on her. Tell her she's beautiful. Tell her that every morning.
Letting him go.
You walk me home.
Oh, what a gentleman.
Did he break you, Louis? Are you broken?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Carry him. I don't know if I can. The pain.
You will.
Yeah, he did.
I did.
But Lestat wasn't his maker though.
A century or so ago.
But
Yesterday.
they could still be
said yesterday.
loving.
What is time to a vampire?
That part.
That's why they're so tortured, probably, because it's like it could have been yesterday. It feels like yesterday. Interesting lighting or lack thereof, right?
Well, shadows, one and the same. They were both, it's cool storytelling within the frame.
You want to come
Some
upstairs?
coffee. Yeah.
Oh, nightcap. It's nightcap.
He forgot about Claudia real
Are
quick.
you
didn't
inviting me in?
he?
See? You got to be invited.
Are you gonna kill me?
Yeah, but not the way you think.
We gonna kill it, all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill it, all right.
I'm the master of the coven. Welcome to the coven.
He forgot about Claudia real easy.
Didn't everybody?
If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a cut down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you want to watch the whole thing with us uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Syntell. Become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own Netflix, HBO Max, or Disney Plus subscription so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a little time with a small reference video at the bottom of the screen to help you sync up the footage. And it'll be like you're watching it with your favorite pals from the internet. Dang, he was like, yeah, Claudia ain't gonna make it.
Everybody
like,
forgot
come on in here.
Everybody forgot about Claudia.
Wow.
Oh, wait, I don't see.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, she's gonna have some issues with that.
With what?
Being a
a little girl all the time.
A little girl stuck in
because she feels that.
Well, I mean, imagine you're a grown woman and then you have to play and pretend and act like you're some like 13, 14-year-old girl, and like be forced to kind of like embody that, and that's the thing you've been trying to run away from because you look the part.
Isn't that how they do in most of these teenage angst movies nowadays?
Yeah.
Even Claudia herself, the actress. I'm like, yo, you got to be at least 25.
Listen, yeah. I think the thing I took away the most out of this episode is Claudia's character is just very annoying.
Yes.
Very, very annoying.
Yes.
But then when you hear her story about the trauma that she had to endure, she was in an abusive relationship. You know, it was literally being broken. Her body was literally being broken night in after night out, and she couldn't get away from it. And then you can understand where she's coming from regarding her drive to find a space of love, of safety, of belonging. You know, after living that experience, you come from an abusive home where your father figure doesn't really want you there. You leave to go into the world thinking you know everything, and then the world breaks you literally, and then you come back to the only space of safety that you can find is a man who's infatuated with the person that doesn't have anything to do with you to begin with. It's like your attitude is going to be like F everything, and then add to the fact when we hear that little tidbit that Armand said that, you know, minds that young can't handle the stress. You know, that's a lot to compile, and then with that being said, you get why she acts. Well, at least for me, I understand why she acts the way that she acts when you kind of piece all of that trauma together.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I mean, obviously, everybody, once we get to know their backstory, is going to make sense. Hopefully, if it's good writing, it'll make sense as to why they are the way they are. So she is very annoying to me. But I do like her curiosity, because it's like, even though she is like a 40-year-old plus woman or something, like she still doesn't know anything about like who she currently is, right? So that'd be like I guess it would be kind of like, I'm going to equate it, correct me if I'm wrong, but the first thing that comes to my head is like people who are adopted.
Okay.
You don't know who those people are, or like where you belong, or, you know, if like say you're of a certain culture, but you don't know the culture and all those things. So I think it's kind of fascinating to me, and I do understand that desire to want to know like who you are and be around people that are, you know, kind of like you. Yeah.
But then also, I feel like Armand and Louis are both kind of going through that at the same time. I think it was pretty interesting to show Armand in the very beginning of him. He is the natural born leader. He's the oldest and the wisest, and he's got this rabble that's just attached to him that are just living, you know, no real zest for life or to grab on for more.
Unlife, if you will.
Yeah, to grab for more than what's been given. And for him to see Lestat, who's just like, I don't live like that, you know, the wind's always at my back, let's go. And he's like, yo, how does that's got to be
how
intriguing.
Does that even work?
Right, like Lestat really like reprogrammed this dude to think totally different.
Yeah, and imagine like hundreds of years of this, right? And then all of a sudden, but the interesting thing was, though, even Armand said he was like, he knew that his coven wouldn't respond to his thinking this way, or like believing this or changing his beliefs all of a sudden, even though he had been thinking it for a while. So he saw Lestat as like a way to kind of like, you know, have them see this without him being the one that, you know, that they're just turning on.
And to me, it's a little cowardice to kind of do that. You know, like these people, if you are their leader and they depend on you, and for you to not have the courage to tell them that you're having a change of thought and to leave them to their own devices, he even said he left them to destroy themselves. You know, so that says a lot about his character. You know, don't get me wrong, like, it's easy to get hypnotized into the facade of Armand and the way that he walks and carries himself and the way that he's seemingly loving Louis and all of that. But coming from somebody who's supposed to be the leader of lost souls, for him to just leave them like that is messed up. I'm just saying.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like he left them, though. I mean, he didn't really know what that would look like.
Oh, no, he knew. He knew. That's the reason I think he didn't have the courage to tell them, because he knew that they would self-destruct. Of course, let me know.
If he knew that.
Of course, let me know in the comments if you think a little bit differently. If I'm going down the wrong.
Because I don't think he knew. I think he was, you know, just as curious about it, just as excited at the thought of it. And then he saw Lestat and he was like, oh, here's my out in terms of, you know, giving them a new perspective. But I don't know if he knew that was what was going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a good question though. Like you said, because you know. Just different opinions there.
Yeah, I feel like my disdain for Claudia is changing to more understanding, and the allure of Armand is making me scratch my head. It feels like it's a bit of a switch.
Flipping.
Yeah, it's a flipping of it. How are you feeling about Daniel and him either getting help from another resource or maybe interacting with another powerful organization? He just assumed MI6, and we've just been saying MI6.
Yeah.
They haven't defined who they are just yet.
Yeah.
But they're a powerful organization able to infiltrate the things that he's doing.
Yeah.
And have some type of influence over those decisions.
Well, the interesting thing to me is part of me, when I first saw him, I was like, oh, is he another vampire? But then I realized, I mean, he is in the light, right? At the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I guess that
he's not a vampire.
Yeah, that gets rid of that idea. But then I was like, okay, is he like another person who is kind of like in cahoots? Not cahoots, but whatever, in a situation with Armand and Louis, not like that kind of relationship, but like Armand. You know how Armand is a human, but he's still part of their circle.
Yeah.
I was like, is it that? Or are they trying to feed him information from a source that he would believe? You know what I mean? So there's all these tinfoil hat theories that I have that I just wonder, I feel like he's on the inside versus like someone on the outside trying to help.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
It's hard to trust.
Yeah, I don't trust nobody.
That's what it kind of like
I don't
comes
trust
down
not
to.
near nutta in this show.
Speaking of trust and distrust, let's talk about Santiago. I guess he would be considered Armand's like number 2 in the coven. He's at least according one of the youngest, because the youngest was the one that read the actual rights to Claudia at the very end.
That was Santiago.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because Santiago is the youngest, but he said you read the youngest to the youngest.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
Santiago read it to Claudia. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, that actually makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So he's the youngest and probably I'm assuming physically strongest.
He looks like it. Yeah. He even said, he's like, I'm powerful.
Yeah.
He's like, my maker was powerful.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about him and how he's addressing Armand and maybe even how he's addressing Claudia and how he feels about Louis and all of that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Santiago is right about Louis, right? Like, he's right about him. And then in terms of they're lying, he literally just broke a couple more rules. Like, first of all, he made Claudia, who's a child. He didn't know, but I'm just saying in terms of the way that he can look, that way that he looks at Louis, right?
Right.
I love, actually, and this is so weird because Claudia does get on my nerves, but I do like the relationship that she has with Santiago.
Okay.
Because he's almost like the maker that she wished she had, like Lestat, right? Like she's getting information and learning things and able to ask questions, whereas Lestat just kind of brushed her off and was like, whatever. And Santiago is like, oh no, this is how I let them know not to have pain and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, drop this knowledge.
Well, let me ask you and also ask the people in the comments as well. Is Lestat selfish?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just curious.
I mean, do you think so? I mean,
don't know.
because you posed the question, so I'm just curious.
I don't know. I'm getting like these weird vibes of redefining how I'm looking at some of these characters. I think Lestat is very independent. And I think he gave Armand a gift and showed him how to get out and better his situation. And then once he saw that, okay, they're situated, and then he was like, all right, I'm out. Not only do I not think it's selfish that he did that, he even hooked him up financially to make sure that the thing keeps working. So when I hear like he's selfish, I'm like, no, he bettered every vampire that was there. He gave them a system that works, a way that they can feed themselves, and a way that they can be financially independent. And then he was like, I'm gonna just do me. Now, just because I'm not gonna jump into this relationship with Armand or whatever it was, I mean, I can see how that could be emotionally selfish, but they are better as a coven from him being there. And it does make me kind of question and look at the relationship that he had with Louis and Claudia as well. Like, he warned Louis about Claudia to begin with before he even made her. You know, he taught Louis everything that he needed, gave the money, backed up his business with some, like, I feel like Lestat gets a really bad viewpoint of who he is. I feel like he does way more helping than he does being destructive. I'm curious what you think.
And I agree with that in terms of the coven and with Armand. Like, I don't feel like there was an obligation there at all. I don't think he was selfish in that situation.
Okay.
But with his situation with Louis, I absolutely feel like he was selfish.
Okay.
He sought him out.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally made him. He did all of that. Like, Louis had no say in any of that situation. So I feel like that in that regard, he was very selfish. And and the fact that you and I both said in first season, like their relationship was exactly.
Yeah. It's absolutely toxic.
Yeah. So for him to be a man of the world and know all these things, if you don't stay in the toxic relationship, don't torment this man and have him, feel like it's the end of life, which it was, you know what I mean, as you know it, and still not teach him things and just make him depend on only you and that you only love him. And so there is that's very selfish to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's like, we're gonna be together forever time, are we? You're abusive, homie. Mostly physically.
I mean, but let's get it twisted. Like, let's not act like Louis this saint. Like Louis literally murdered his maker.
Yeah. No, and I'm not considering Louis a saint, but you asked me, is Lestat selfish? Yes. Okay. He is selfish.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're getting a little bit closer to some of our closing thoughts. Is there anything that's on your mind that you wanted to talk about regarding this episode before we get out of there?
I just want to say I'm really enjoying, like you said, like it's interesting how you're having a different perspective and take on the characters, which I think is fascinating.
Okay.
And I am too. And I just like that about the series, and I'm really excited about the next episode.
Yeah. I'm curious what you all think. You guys have asked some amazing comments. Had some amazing comments and brought some interesting perspective to this. For the book readers, please try not to spoil for us, because as you can see, we're really like enjoying the journey that we've been going through. And if you've been enjoying the conversation that me and Mikel-Claire have been having, be a friend of the channel and hit that subscription button, and of course, give us that thumbs up, because that's how the people know you digging what we giving you. And if you want to get to know Mikel-Claire a little bit better,
there will be a link in the description for my social media information. Please follow along, easy peasy.
Hey, lemon squeezy, just like that. Hey, big shout out to all the Patreons. Thank you. You guys keep the lights on, and we will definitely be giving you a hat tip with a bit of a scroll showing you everybody that's helped participate and to make this channel be as successful as it has been.
One more thing, and hopefully on the next episode, what we'll do is we'll kind of respond to and answer some of the questions and talk about some of the comments. So
Absolutely.
Definitely stay on our next episode to make sure that, and if you leave some on this episode, we'll probably kind of, try to pick some to kind of respond to. So just give you a heads up, be on the lookout.
All of that. Hey, thank you for your time, and we'll catch you on the next episode. All right, y'all, take care. Peace.